happening, man? I see my man K-Dog is out there. Congratulations, brother. I know that you have been nominated, man, for some very prestigious awards out there in the Houston area, man. So shout out to you, family. You know what I'm saying? We about to kick this thing off, man. It's time for another episode of Cigars and Conversation, all right? I'm your boy, Cigar Mick.
It's Cigar Banker. I'm here.
Yeah. Y'all saw how I did that? Cigars and Conversation, because Live with Mick and Mila is a whole different segment. But this whole thing got started with me and this brother sitting down in front of the camera and having some combos, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always good, man, to have a homie back, man.
Yeah.
Cigar Banker, y'all been asking for him. Where's the banker? Where's the banker? The banker
I'm
right
out.
here.
I'm in the streets.
He's out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, dog. Bro, it's good being back with you, man.
Yes, absolutely, man. Definitely a blessing.
Yeah.
Whenever we get a chance to sit down, it's always a beautiful convo.
Yeah.
And we give the people what they want.
Yeah,
right?
man. Got to give the people what they want. So yeah, brother. So you know, a lot's been going on. I wanna like really start off by saying, like I'm really hoping that with your schedule that we can at least try to do this, you know, sit down on this on a monthly basis.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because the conversation that you and I have, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be different than the conversation that I'm having with Tamika or with anybody else, right? So again, you know, how we get down and stuff like that.
So, absolutely.
Welcome to Homer Cleese 6 in Red Zone. What's up, brother? I see you up in there too. All right. So, first of all, man, what you been up to, man? Holidays, all that good stuff?
Man, blessings, man. My family happy, kids happy, wife happy. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Man. Yeah, I can't complain.
That's it, brother.
And yourself?
Well, you know what I've been through, bro. And that wasn't even a segue to get to that. That's just like normal conversation. But it's been a tough holiday season for us. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, God is sovereign. We getting through it. You know what I'm saying? And one day we'll be on the other side of this, man.
It's a beautiful way to put it, man.
Yeah, right now we still just going through it. You know, every day, like we are literally living like not even day to day, it's moment to moment. You know what I'm saying? You could be good one moment and the next moment you're not, man. I might break down and cry on this podcast, y'all, if you ain't too careful. But it's all good, man. So I mean, shout out, you know, to everybody in my family. You know, obviously I miss my baby girl. You know what I'm saying? And we're still prepping, you know, for the final arrangements and all of that type of stuff, man. But we're doing what we do. So
absolutely,
you know, but I appreciate that, bro. But before we get too deep, man, let's talk about what we smoking today.
Absolutely, man. I was about to say, I was like, we're gonna skip past that part. But absolutely, man. I'm smoking this nice Cavalier today. You see, I got the little Lancero. You know, these joints be rolled tight. And sometimes they ain't the easiest to smoke, but I do love the flavor of them.
Yeah.
It's all Nicaraguan all the way through, so it's a beautiful smoke. A lot of work goes into this particular joint that they do. And the price point is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You would think this is a $40, $50, maybe even a $60 cigar, but you go in there, you paying $16 at a retailer. Yeah. Man, beautiful smoke. You know, I got to see my guy Raj all the time. He take care of me.
Yeah.
But definitely one of the best smokes I picked up in the last while. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. So this right here, man, it's kind of you know, this particular stick is new to me. You know, but I was blessed with it, I think, at Big Smoke, man. But this is La Polina, but this is the white label Connecticut, right? So I've smoked La Polinas in the past, but I never had this white label Connecticut one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but this is a really nice, it's a light smoke, great for the morning time. Their factory, just like Cavalier's factory, they're down in Danley, in Honduras and whatnot. This is a nice Mexican blend right here, man, with some of the Mexican Andreas and, you know, you know, Dominican. It's got Dominican filler on that, man, and then you got that, you know, that Connecticut wrapper on here.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's nice smoke, man. It's light, man. It's you know, early. You know, you got on me for not having no coffee, nothing to drink this morning. So you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool that I got something light to smoke.
Yeah. Make it easy on this.
Exactly. Yo, shout out to CDL Cigar and Golf, man. I got to be on that brother's podcast this weekend. I see you on there, my man Donnell. What's up, family? Good to see you, dog. You know, so the crazy thing is by the time I got to your podcast, I was pretty twisted. So, man, holla at me before you post that one, because I need to make sure that I ain't looking crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was you could say I was self-medicating at the moment, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, family. You know? But I had a wonderful time, man. He had some wonderful guests on his podcast. So if you'll follow up Puff a minute, man, make sure y'all jump over and also follow CDL Cigar and Golf, all right, on all your social media as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Brother doing some good things in the cigar world, in the golf world, right?
Absolutely.
And, we always talk about, black men being in the golf industry and doing what we do. It wasn't a traditional thing for us to play golf, right?
Yeah, right.
We got Tiger, but it wasn't many of us. So it was like, it's cool to see a lot more of the culture adapting that. And the same thing kind of followed with the cigar world, right?
Yeah.
Is that we all kind of jumped on and started following into that industry. So definitely love what this brother's doing with the CDL Cigar and Golf.
Not to like go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
But we changed the game of golf. All right. No, I'm keeping it real, yo. Do you know that the golf tee was invented by a black man?
Yes.
All right. So that's what I'm saying. The original golf tee, before that, brother, they used to pile dirt together and stack their ball up on the dirt and hit the ball. So yo, we changed the game. We got a little something in everything. You feel me?
A little something in everything.
Yes, sir. But getting back, man. So at the top of this thing, man. You mentioned Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Jokingly at the top. But let's talk about this whole thing that took off, man, with Cat on Club Shay Shay. I know everybody's been talking about it for, weeks now and whatnot, but this is the first time you and I got to sit down, right, and actually chat about it, man. So what did you think about Cat's, the things that he was saying while he was on the show?
Cat is so dope because he's an insider and an outsider at the same time. He plays that role so well, being that doppelganger. We can play in the world and say, okay, I'm going to get a movie here. I'm going to do a special there, whatever, right? I'm going to go on my tour. And every time you go on tour, but it's a 100-city tour. It's never like, some of these other cats where it may be 20 cities, 30 cities. This dude will go on a 100-city tour. But I say all that to say, like, he plays that role of being a doppelganger and playing both sides so well. And so this brother comes into the game and says, hey, I'm going to learn the game, but I'm not going to be trapped by it.
Come on.
And I'm like, okay, that's one of the dopest things, because what happens to many of us, right? We have to change who we are as individuals to be able to move in that world, per se, right?
Exactly.
And these different worlds that we get infiltrated into. And I say infiltrated because we ain't supposed to be there in a lot of cases.
Right.
So this brother was sitting in rooms, in meetings, talking to these cats, having real detailed meetings about things that most people don't know about. And then the coldest part, when he talked about the dress, that's always one of the biggest things for me. He talked about, he was on the movie set. Next, he went back to his room and there was a dress in there. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I'm like, it'd be a lot of different things going on with this industry and with this world. I'm like, people need to hear that stuff. And I think what he's a little bit more personality behind stuff, so people don't listen to him as much. And so he has so much personality. Like, I don't want to call him flamboyant, but I'm trying to think of a different word. But he has so much personality in what he says that sometimes people are like, oh, he's just being funny. Nah, this dude spitting facts. And we've talked about comedians before, right? Comedians is one of the best truth tellers we ever had in our world. You got to listen to these dudes. Like, they really spitting truth a lot of times. So I was like, man, 90% of what he said was true. Maybe 10% of it was BS because he was mad, he was upset about a situation. But the dude was spitting facts like on point.
What you notice is that everybody who, I love the way Shay Shay said, man, he said catching strays, right? But everybody who caught a stray that day, those who tried to come back and say something, they come back with their explanation, but they never discount what was said. See what I'm saying? They never came back and said he was lying about this or he was lying about that. That's important, right? Because that's telling me that, everything that Cat was saying, bro, regardless of how he packaged it, right? He was still telling the truth. And you're right. Comedians in this day and age are the truth tellers, right? That's what satire is, man. Satire is truth that is put out in a humorous fashion so that it's more receptible. I just made up a word and shit. So that it's easier to be received by the masses. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so at the end of the day, man, I feel like, everything the Cat was putting down, man, like, again, I mean, he called some people out. You know what I'm saying? But if you think about it, the people that he called out, it's not the first time that they've been called out.
Oh, yeah.
They've been called out before, and they've been able to, kind of spin it to their advantage, right? Who was female? Monique. Remember, she called out Steve Harvey before. You know what I'm saying? On his own show.
She did.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But, all of that stuff. So Cat, man, the way that he presents it, I'm fascinated by the fact that this dude was like a mental genius from his youth. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that's just fascinating, man. Reading through the encyclopedia, knowledge is power, bro.
It is.
And for that dude to be able to do that, that tells you that he has to have some kind of a memory, right? His memory has to be like on fleek, son.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, either photographic memory, or he's got to be able to really be able to remember facts and dates and all of these types of things.
Yeah.
At a rate that's higher above most people. You know what I'm saying? That's why nobody can dispute the things that he's saying.
But the funniest people are the most quick-witted,
yes,
most knowledgeable. They're well-read. You think about a Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory was a comedian. And it was like, think of all the knowledge he gave us over the years as he got older. But that dude would start out as a comedian.
Wow, man. You know what? And I appreciate you saying that, right? Because most people, of your generation don't know of or appreciate Dick Gregory. You know what I'm saying? Dick Gregory was a god, son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that brother, I mean, the knowledge that he put out and everything. And I was fortunate enough to meet him when I was a young child.
Oh, wow.
Once, when I was younger, I should say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Dick Gregory was that dude, bro. Like real talk.
And you think about, we have these gyms, right? So we got Dave, right? We got Dave Chappelle doing his thing. And I'm like, David is hitting it hard, like, and I don't want to go on this tangent, but we started talking about these gender identities and things of that nature.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world for our children, man.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of what Dave talks about. We started talking about a Cat Williams that's raising these little black babies.
Yeah.
He's adopted several children. Not all of them is his kids. He adopted them
exactly.
out of the welfare systems, out of, drug babies and things of that nature.
Exactly.
And I'm like, man, we started talking about these gyms that we have. We got to cherish them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, God forbid something happened to him. I hope nothing happened to him.
Right.
I was like, God save Dave Chappelle. God save, Cat Williams. Because when you tell truth like that, and you have no qualms about telling the truth, and you level-headed, you clear-minded when you say it, that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous thing. So I'm like, we got to save these gyms we got out here right now for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You got to go back and listen to the things that these guys are saying.
Yeah.
But listen to it with a thirst for knowledge and not just for an opportunity to laugh. Right? Because a lot of what they're saying, bro, like they're packaging it in a way, you know what I'm saying, so they can come off as comedy.
Correct.
But at the same token, bro, like we keep saying, right?
Yeah.
They're telling you what's going on. One of the things that Cass said in the interview, and it was crazy because you said Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle just came out with his new special last month, right, or whatever. But an interview now is being talked about more than Dave Chappelle's comedy special. You see what I'm saying? But they're both dropping a lot of knowledge, man. But Cass said that this is the age of truth,
Yeah.
And when you think about that, man, the age of truth, because there's been so many things that have been hidden for so long, especially when it comes to entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you see shows like the Golden Globes, right? And all of these, like, this is like the award season and stuff. You see all of this stuff that's put out there for the general public, but what you don't see is what's going on after the cameras turn off, right? You don't see these after parties and these, these. We're gonna get into the P. Diddy freak-offs in a minute.
Hey.
But you know what I'm saying? You don't see all of this other crazy stuff that goes on afterwards, or how these people are literally in a manner selling their souls, bro, for fame and fortune. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a lot of this stuff that goes on, bro. And again, like Cat said, he just been collecting receipts for 30 years.
And Cat said it in one of his specials. He's like, "Is that Mr. Opie?" He went in one of them rooms and he's like, "Is that Mr. Opie?" Wow. I was like, because it happens a lot. Exactly. And it's like now all of a sudden the truth, like you said, the truth is coming out, and nobody's come out and said, "Okay, we're gonna deny it." Yep. All we see is people paying money. Yeah. We see people trying to hide stuff, coming out with articles or whatever, but they ain't coming out saying their own story because everybody's exposing them. Right. And I'm like, that's just how it was. Yeah. I'm like, the age of truth is a crazy thing, man. Crazy.
And it comes in droves, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, allegedly, right? I ain't trying to get sued or nothing like that, but it comes in droves because you had what's my girl from The Color Purple, that she went at Oprah and whatnot.
Oh, Whoopi?
Not Whoopi, man. Man, y'all know who I'm talking about out there, man. Somebody type it up real quick. But the sister, man, for Baby Boy, I can't think of her real name right now. But anyway, she went at Oprah.
Not Taraji.
Yeah, Taraji.
Okay.
Yeah, Taraji went at Oprah because she said Oprah was not helping black women in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, she was basically saying that Oprah was a doorkeeper. Thank you, brother. Taraji P. Henson.
Okay.
Yeah. So he basically was saying that that Oprah was a gatekeeper, right? And she was there to kind of hold folks down, right? It really wasn't even a whole monetary thing, but again, she determines who gets on and who don't get on, right? So she's that doorkeeper, that voice, in Hollywood, and other people have said that over the years. You know what I'm saying? I remember, when Dave Chappelle first turned down the money and all of that type of stuff, and he went on Oprah like emasculated the dude. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. You look at her girl Gail. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not sticking up for R. Kelly or nothing like that, but you look at that interview. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell that these people have power, and they're like, okay, promote this person, tear this one down. Promote this person, tear this one down. And when you look over the last year, bro, you look at what went down with Kanye. You know what I'm saying? You look at what went down with ball player, bro. Help me out.
Which one?
New York Nets. Point guard. Not there no more.
The Nets?
Man, you know what, bro? My memory is shot.
No. You said
my man for the point guard.
Oh, Kyrie.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Kyrie. Look at what went down with Kyrie. Anybody who speaks an element of truth, you know what I'm saying, gives you one iota into what's real, right? They immediately want to erase that, right? And want you to buy back into the fantasy or the story the narrative that they're telling, that they're pushing. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's going to be a lot more of this. The problem is they have not been able to do that to Cat Williams the way that they've been able to do it with everybody else. That's the crazy thing about it.
And he always talks about this, right? What he got, like 19 arrests with no convictions or something like that, like crazy stuff. But the new one that's funny to me is the Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, right?
Okay.
So they go in there, you know Jason Whitlock.
I know Whitlock.
Oh man, he's like one of the biggest haters in all the sports, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he comes out against Stephen A. and says Stephen A. is a plant. And it was like, and I was like, man, it does seem like you said, when they build something up, they tear something down.
Exactly.
I'm like, it seems like some of these cats are just playing it in certain situations. I got a friend that might be Illuminati. I don't know.
I think he is.
I ain't gonna name him.
I know what you're talking about.
But I got a friend that might be Illuminati. Exactly. I'm like, shoot, he in that world. I'm like, man, it looked like it's some of these cats that just be planted in certain situations. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I mess with him all the time. I ain't gonna say his name, but I mess with him all the time because we just joke. Because I'm like, dude, I was like, you got inside information that most of us don't have.
Exactly.
But when you start thinking about how the world really moves, it does seem like there are a lot of people that have that inside information, influence, and get planted in certain situations where, say, you could say, we always talk about from the black people perspective where we always have to be the biggest, the best of everything, right? In order for us to have success in any role. Right. But at the same time, there are some people who just like, damn, how that motherfucker like do this and do that and move here and move there and have this influence and that influence. It seems like they're a plant, right?
Right.
Yeah. I say, I tell some of my friends that's making money and doing well, I said, bro, I don't want to hear about you having orgies at your house. I don't want to see none of that. Exactly. Don't invite me to one of them secret rooms. Exactly. None of that, bro. I'm like, I'm good. I'm happy you having success. I was like, I don't want to be a part of that. Yeah. Man, at no point in my life, shoot. Right, but I do feel like we get to certain levels of success and you just can't move the same.
Right.
You can't move the same. When you talk about the Cat Williams interview, he's basically tell you how he's fighting with two different worlds. He don't want to be in that world where he got to move different, but he has to because he make this level of money. And then you got a cat. It was, I can't remember who it was. Somebody said he had a fake Fendi jacket on, and I was like, come on, dog. I was like, that's what you came at him for, is a fake Fendi jacket?
Really?
You ain't say nothing about what he said from a commentary standpoint. Exactly. You talking about his jacket?
Right.
I was like, come on, dog. And you know it was real. Yeah. You know it was real.
Exactly. It's classic, diversionary tactics.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Don't look over there, look over here.
Yes.
In that world, they call it the hidden hand. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, exactly right, bro.
And we always talk about economics, the laissez-faire, right? You know, that invisible hand that moves things.
Yeah.
And it really does. There really is that invisible hand that moves through the entire world that influences different things. And I'm like, we don't see it, but it's happening all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why they call it the invisible hand, because there is action behind it. It's just we don't see it as prevalent at some of the things. You know what I mean? It's different than Cat Williams coming out and say you a nigga, you a bitch, and blah blah.
Right,
but when he come out and say, oh, the big country bumpkin nigga that don't talk good,
it's the potato head.
you know, it sounds different, right?
Exactly.
So I was like, yeah, but I was like, he was on everybody's head, bro.
Yeah, he was, bro. He was all over the place, man. All over the place, you know. But at the same token, he was like, it's not hate, it's not bitter.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't allow these people to, change a narrative, right? Where it affects my name at the same token. You know what I'm saying? Which I get that. I also understand the part that he was talking about the people taking his story and making it their story. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's talking about Steve Harvey, talking about being homeless and stuff. Like Steve wasn't homeless. He said, that's my story. That's not his story. That happens a lot. You know what I'm saying? When people will see something and they'll be like, you know what? That's really intriguing and whatnot. It's something that's going to win me empathy and what have you, right? And it's going to move people to want to, be down with what I got going on. So they'll take that story and create their own around it.
Do you think that's people still in their story? Or that's somebody just trying to keep up with the Joneses in a way? Because I think there's a lot of strength in the struggle story, right? Okay. And especially when you have certain successes, people want to know you came from somewhere else. They don't want to know you just started off, on the high note. So I don't know if sometimes it feels like people want to have that struggle competition. And I think about that because I listen to battle rap all the time. And one of the things they talk about is everybody got a struggle story. Yeah. I sold crack, I did this, I did that, blah, blah, I was a gangster, blah, blah. Yeah. And now here I am. And I'm like, sometimes it feels like everybody competing now, especially in our world, right? Us being black men. It'd be a lot of cats be like, oh my gosh, like my struggle story better than your struggle story. I'm like, you being from Patterson, New Jersey. I'm like, shit, I could never tell you about no real projects. Yeah. I'm like, we don't have no high rises in Vegas, you know what I mean? Right, yeah. We could talk about them 40-story buildings and all that. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, my struggle story ain't gonna never be the same as yours. Right. But at the same time, we came together for a certain reason. But I'm like, is it sometimes it's like the crabs in a barrel kind of concept?
I think you touching upon something right there, right? Because again, you're right. I feel like people do gravitate to people with stories, right? With stories, struggle stories, as you say it. But the fact is, you have to tell your own genuine, authentic story. You can't take somebody else's story and make it your own. Right. Right. So I think like you said, everybody comes from somewhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, growing up, in the city of Patterson, New Jersey, man, and the things that I saw there is not equivalent to somebody who grew up, let's say, in, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Or, your struggle, not saying there wasn't one. It's just gonna be different than mine. Right. So be authentic with your story. Right. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So that's all I'm saying is, there's a lot of that takes place. I don't know if Steve was homeless or not. You know what I'm saying? But according to Cat, 30 years ago, this brother was making 15 grand a week. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But at the end of the day, when and again, it's been a long time, right? Since I don't know when he told that homeless story. I don't know if it's a repetitive thing or whatever the case may be. But I'm sure that Steve Harvey does have a come up story. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where he doesn't have to use somebody else's. Yeah, yeah.
You know he got a story that's genuine enough where you shouldn't have to do that kind of stuff, right? And you've had your own success in your own right. Why manipulate a story to solidify your success? You've already had 20 some odd years of success, right? What he been the host of Family Feud for like 20 years now?
Something like that.
Something crazy.
He's been on there, right? Exactly.
So I'm like, you don't have to do that kind of stuff. But I say that to say like Cat was just on point. I think Cat was a moment we needed right now. Yeah. We needed to hear that right now. Yeah. Yeah. It was something that was like more genuine than we've heard in a while. And especially on the heels of the Dave Chappelle specials and what Dave has been doing. Yeah. I'm like, it's good to hear another person kind of solidifying that and say, hey, there's stuff going on in this industry, in this world that we need to be aware of, and not just be keeping our eyes closed to it. Exactly. And I'm like, and my wife gets on me all the time because she be like, Jerry, how you know all this stuff? I was like, I fucking read. I read books. Exactly. I'm not sitting here being no dumb fool, ignorant, talking about I get all my information off of YouTube or the internet. I'm reading books. Exactly. That's where they hide it. Eddie Griffin, God forbid Eddie Griffin ever decide to come out and start doing the same.
Eddie got stories too. Believe that.
God forbid he ever come out and start doing the same thing, because he said it years ago. He was like, why do you think he called a television program? You are being programmed. It was like you got to start opening books
Exactly.
and reading it and getting the information for where it originated from, not
Yeah.
from all these third party sources and things. And I say I hate gossip. I hate third party information.
Right,
I try to go to the source whenever I can. Even like somebody tell me a Bible scripture, I'm out. Let me open my Bible. I'm gonna read it for
Gotta read it for
myself.
yourself.
I'm gonna read it for myself, and
Yeah.
I'll read 3 different versions of it just to see what the different comparisons are.
Right.
But that's what I mean. Like people just got to get back, and we've said it for so many years. But I don't know how many times we can say it.
Yeah.
Please go get the information for yourself.
Man.
Don't listen just to Puff a Minute, Mick and Jaren. You know what I'm saying? Don't just listen to us. I'm like, shit, go get the information. So that's what I be on, man.
My mom used to have this saying, bro. You know, especially when it came to Bible scripture and stuff like that. But she used to say, you got to read it for yourself because you got a lot of people who are out there that are quoting scriptures, right? But they're taking things out of context.
Yes.
And anytime you take anything out of context, is what she told me, it becomes a pretext.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? So you got to know what came before it. You got to know what came after it in order to understand what that was actually saying. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
See, one of the best lessons I ever got in my life, bro.
And I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
One of the times I cried the hardest in my life was when I realized that, because somebody was trying to manipulate things and take them out of context from the Bible, and it messed my spirit up, and I couldn't take it.
Exactly.
I couldn't take it.
Exactly, bro. You know, they had you believe in stuff that ain't even in the Bible, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That telling you that my grandma used to say, cleanliness is next to godliness.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I can't find that word.
Is that Proverbs? Like, wait a minute.
But people just be saying any old thing.
Oh
man.
my gosh.
You know, but nah, that's funny, dog. All right, let's shift, not shift all the way, but just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because now we're talking about Hollywood, right? And we're talking about some of the things that have been exposed in this type of dirt and this underbelly of Hollywood, right? So, what do you think about all of the allegations right now against Diddy?
Man, I love Diddy, right?
Okay.
I love what he's meant to the culture of hip hop, fashion. I love all that. But at the same time, I say it all the time, I don't think you can make that kind of money and live a normal lifestyle.
Okay.
So we already know there's different things. We already know about the Cassie situation, right? They had some arrangement, you know, where he never married her, never gave her a baby, all that kind of stuff, right? Was with her for what, like 15 some odd years? Like it was a long time, right? And all during that time, you know, it was that kind of secret, quiet relationship. And then boom, she leaves him. She got a baby. She in a happy relationship. And now next thing we got the lawsuit. So I say that to say this, like I don't want to say it's true, but at the same time, I know there's something going on that we as in our level we can't relate to.
Yeah.
I feel like the brother just got arrangements all over the place where he had to have these certain arrangements because of the type of money he made. And I was like, I can't blame him. Because I said, shit, let me get $1 million or let me earn $1 million a year. There's no way I could move the same way I move now. There's no way. Earning $1 million a year, and you talking about a brother that's earning, you know, several hundred million a year. Yeah. I'm like, there's no way you can move like a normal person when you make that kind of money.
Yeah, I keep, you know, like you said, from the outside looking in, there's something that's going on there that is not for public consumption, right? And I'm not just talking about sexual proclivities, man, and all of that type of stuff, the freak off parties and all of that type of stuff. That sort of thing Diddy did not start.
Yeah.
Okay. That thing, those sort of things have been going on, you know, in Hollywood and entertainment for decades, for you know, for multiple years, right? That stuff has been, you know, germane to that type of lifestyle, right? So that's not what I'm talking about. But when I look at Diddy, bro, you know, and I see all of the bodies around him, you know what I'm saying? That's what really makes me look at things a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So when you start talking about, you know, Craig Mack, man, when you start talking about Heavy D, when you start talking about, you know what I'm saying, Tupac and Biggie, and when you start talking about the baby mama, man, I can't think of her name right now. You know what I'm saying? Al B, yeah, Al B. When he came out, he almost, you know, he came very, very close to his own end. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest with you, last time when I saw Al, he told me, he said, I'm working on a documentary, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dying to see what he come out with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
You know? So at the end of the day, it's just a lot that's going on around this dude that it's like he's in the middle, in the center of the universe of a lot of crazy stuff that has gone on
And
around him.
and
And is that by chance? I don't know.
yeah,
You know?
and I almost wonder, is it more of like the mafia type thing, right, where people was telling family secrets, or is it really this whole Illuminati and conspiracy kind of stuff, or is it just like, hey, you out here telling family secrets and you shouldn't have been?
Yeah.
And then, because the mafia was big on that, right? Like they was like, hey, you talk about the family business, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Or you violate the family, you gotta go.
Exactly.
And I almost wonder, is it more of that because they want to keep it within that circle of influence, or is it, hey, like we really out here on we sacrificing goats and we praying to demons and all that? I don't know. I don't know, but it is something to that.
There's something there.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's not a coincidence at all.
With this smoke, this fire.
Yes,
there's something there. And did I ever tell you my Diddy story? I think I did back in the day. But so I was actually on the set. I just happened to be on the set when Mary J. Blige was shooting her first video, right? The Real Love video. I had just moved from Cali. I was working for an independent record label in Cali and whatnot, and had just came back to Jersey. And one of my boys was like, "Hey, I'm doing security at this video shoot. Why don't you come on the road with me?" So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we roll out there, man. Mary's doing her thing. We're watching we shoot the video. I actually hung out with Tretch, man, from Naughty and whatnot. Me and him was like, "Yo, let's go to the liquor store." You know what I'm saying? So we was out there chilling and stuff. And then when coming back, so Diddy walks. So we were taking photos and stuff, and then Diddy walks out and everything. So I introduced myself and everything. Andre, who he had worked for at the time over at Uptown, was from my town. I knew Andre Harrell, so I'm like, yeah, so on and so forth. So he was like, man, he said, you just came from, working with this label in Cali. I said, yeah, I was doing marketing and promotion. He said, well, man, I'm getting ready to do something. He said, why don't you come to my office on Monday, and we can talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? I might have a spot for you. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll probably do that. But afterwards, when I went back to Jersey, because we were, I had my whole family with me, right? So we were in the process of moving from California to Virginia, but we were stopped in Jersey for a couple of weeks at my parents' house. So I told wifey about it. I said, yeah, it's an opportunity. I might be able to just go ahead and work this label up here in New York and stuff. And she was like, she didn't want no parts of living up in Northeast like that, because she's a Cali girl, right? It was culture shock. So I just said, you know what? I promised you we was going to go from a beach town to a beach town. We was going from San Diego to Virginia Beach. So I'm just going to ignore that, right? And we're just going to go on down there. But in retrospect, I tell all of that to say this, right? In the 5% of world, right, which is an offshoot of Islam, but in the 5% of the world, they call your woman, right, your wisdom, right? And in that particular situation, man, I think that it was, I feel today that was divine protection that kept me out of that world at that point in time in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I appreciate that my wife was like, she wasn't feeling comfortable about it. I had another very good friend of mine who was the head of the T.J. Martell Foundation at the time, which at the time, that was the biggest charitable organization in the music industry. And she pulled me to the side one. I used to call her like a second mom and stuff, but she pulled me to the side. She said, why do you want to be a part of this industry? She said, you're too nice for this and they will eat you alive. Like, real talk, bro. And I'm mad because she put other friends of mine on, you know what I'm saying, in different, things and stuff with MTV and this, that, and other thing, and what have you. Her son actually was one of the people who started MTV. And she put other people on, but when it came to me, she was just like, Daryl, you don't want this. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, bro, you know what I'm saying? So my life took a different trajectory, right? Because, and all of that type. But I feel like it's divine protection, man, because if I had gotten involved at that time with those people, I don't know where I would be or if I would be at this moment in time of my life. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yeah. That's a crazy thing, man. Our wives do be protecting us, don't they?
Yes, sir.
I say now, I tell people, I joke with, I say I'm a low-level public figure. So I got to be careful about what I say, what I do, and how I move. But you know who taps me on the shoulder all the time?
Wifey. Yeah. Exactly.
All the time. You need to do this. You need to be in this space. Get out of that conversation.
Exactly.
That person ain't good for you.
Yeah.
And she has insight that I don't. And I say a woman's intuition is a motherfucker, bro.
And it's real, bro.
Man.
It's real. All y'all brothers out there, man, you know what we talking about, right? If you got a good one, man, you got a real one that's in your corner, bro, listen to her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Listen to her.
Yeah.
So I get that all the time from my wife, brother. So that's what it is. Well, bro, I mean,
we've been on it, bro.
We've been on it.
I told you once the camera started, we was just gonna go.
Exactly.
It's been too long.
It's been a long time, man. Like I said, it's always, you know, like a treasure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A privilege, man. When I get to sit down with you and everything, man, we're going to be able to do this.
Man.
Yeah, I love you, family, for real.
But I say this, I was like, you got me my grooming, right? Because I'm doing all this public speaking now. Yeah. I get up there, I just be conversational, bro. I feel like I'm like Mike Epps' son. I'm just conversational and I just do my thing. But I'm like, man, it's a beautiful thing because this has been a blessing for me in my growth pattern and what we've been able to do together. So, man, just blesses all day, bro.
That's it, bro. Yeah. That's what it is, man. Now, you know what I'm saying? We got to mention where we are, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, man, graciously, man, Melvin and Michelle Brunless opened up this venue for us to be able to come down here, right, and shoot this podcast, man.
Yeah.
You know, so, again, we're at Tap and Ash, man. The Tap and Ash Cigars and Libation Social Lounge right here in Las Vegas, 1206, I believe it is, Commerce Street. Yeah, 1206 South Commerce Street. Right here in Las Vegas. So whenever you're in Las Vegas, man, make sure that y'all come through. It's a beautiful family environment, man, down here. The lounge is immaculate. The patrons are like, you know, some of the best people you'll ever want to meet in your life. So make sure y'all come down here and show some love to Tap and Ash, man. The staff is on point. They're gonna take care of you from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna want for anything while you're here. So,
and man, I'm like, the same thing we do when we light up a cigar and we turn on the camera is what happens in the lounge, right? Every night.
Exactly.
Every night. You get on one, you meet somebody, you get into a conversation.
Exactly.
And it's just a beautiful thing.
Exactly right, y'all. You know. But we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? So look for this segment, Cigars and Conversation, on the monthly basis right now, right? Because I think that's gonna be a little easier for us to schedule. Right. Continue to check out Live with Mick and Mika on a weekly basis. With the exception of, I think we shoot this coming week, but after that, I'll be in New York, so we'll miss that one. And we're also going to be hitting all of the conventions and all of that type of stuff, traveling around the country a little bit, getting some more content for you guys as well that way. So that's everything that's going on. You want to give one of your old rundowns, baby?
Man.
You still got it?
I got it, man. I got it. We appreciate the love. Hey, I got to give one shout out, though, real quick. Right now, y'all check out the shoes, man. I'm wearing a black-owned shoe brand. This is SCJ, Suckers Came Join. My guy, man, Cleavon. Check him out on Instagram, Suckers Came Join. Man, he blessed me with this exclusive pair. I know I'm on to the next ones as well. But definitely just check us out. When we say we support black business and we sitting in the black-owned cigar lounge in Vegas, and one of the most premier, there are several now. So we're glad to say we're building a portfolio, but definitely we're sitting in one of the best and the top ones here in Las Vegas. But I want to say that real quick before I give you the rundown. We appreciate the love. Like I said, the Cigar Banker ain't been here in a minute.
Exactly.
Ain't been here in a minute. But I'm so glad we was able to shoot this episode today. Thank you for those that jumped on the live. Keep doing that. Tap in with us. I know we got some of our East Coast folks on this morning, right?
Yeah.
It's some folks on the East Coast.
We got some folks.
You know, some early birds here on the West Coast. Appreciate you. This is MLK week too, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's MLK week. We didn't talk about that, but definitely it's MLK week. There's a bunch of events going on here locally. Hopefully you guys are celebrating the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, what he meant, and the Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King, Reverend before the doctor, and tap in with him as well. Once again, his wife convinced him to be a doctor, right? After he was a reverend, his wife convinced him to be a doctor. But all that being said, we just want to say, hey, it comes full circle. We just appreciate you all doing that, showing us the love. Please take that love over to YouTube. That's where the warehouse is, right? Yes. That's where we got the full library of all the episodes. Make sure to go like, subscribe, click the bell link so you get the notification when we do the edits and upload the new videos. Do all that with us. Stay tapped in on Instagram, Facebook, the whole nine. We had Tap. We all over the place, right? We all over the place, right? Yeah. We show up, we pop out. But we appreciate the love and continue it, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And the podcast is available, y'all. It's available on Spotify. It's available on Apple Podcasts. Again, YouTube, of course, man. So make sure that you tap in. If you're on the Instagram right now, if you're on the live, go ahead over to and join the broadcast channel for the Live and Mickey broadcast channel, right? So we're trying to build that up as well. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Look, I gotta holler at Cleavon because he and I we were in a incubator type of a course together and everything like that. And I told him I was gonna grab a pair of those, bro. They look outstanding, man. That's a good looking shoe. I need some on my feet. So I'm gonna holler at him. Exclusive.
You gotta know the man to know the man.
Exactly. But it's been another Cigars and Conversations, y'all. I'm your man, Cigar Mick.
It's Cigar Banker.
And we want to wish y'all peace, love, and happiness. And in the words of the immortalized Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., right? Remember, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Peace, y'all. We love you. We'll see you next time. We out.